Everybody wants to be great. I think you want to be great. I want to be great. And guess what? That is natural. It is natural for us to want to be like amazing people. It is unnatural for a flower to not bloom. So it is unnatural for you and I to not be great. So that sense of desire is actually natural. So for you to be hungry, to want more love, more wealth, more fitness, more excitement, experience, that's natural. That means that you're alive, that you're hungry for things. Okay? Being hungry is a sign of living. And today we're going to talk about remembering who you are. Now, if you guys follow me on social media such as Instagram, you probably have seen me post the stories of books that I currently am reading or have read. And I'm a big believer in just educating yourself, especially when you have that empty space. That empty space I'm referring to when you are going out for a jog, if you're driving, if you're waiting in line for something. I love to just put on some headphones and listen, or if I have the e-book version of it, I like to read it. And why do I do this? It's because I'm always collecting little pieces of gold. Sometimes it is the missing key to something that I heard maybe not too long ago, like a passage or a story, and it didn't quite make sense until I heard something different in a different way. And that was the key to open up the Pandora box, and it really allows me to resonate and take in something new. So what the heck am I talking about? Okay, well, recently I have been reading a lot of spiritual books. I believe that we are all running in seasons. Okay, so there's sometimes a season of just relaxing, a season of learning, a season of implementing, and then there's a season where you just prosper and you just enjoy the awesomeness that you have created. It's very similar to how the seasons in nature work, and I believe that we are also in sync in a way where we're constantly always in seasons. So right now I'm in the season of learning. I'm just getting a lot of knowledge and insights on the spiritual side of me. So there's times where I'm working on my fitness, my nutrition, I'm working on mindset. Right now I'm working on spirituality, and that connects a lot with everything else. I believe that everything is connected to everything. So for example, if you have bad health, that's going to transfer over to like how you are with your relationships, right? So if you have bad health, you're going to have low energy and you're not going to be that exciting to be around with. Or even when you go to work, that is an extension of you. Your health is an extension of what you do every day. So if you have poor health, you're going to probably put poor results. And spirituality plays the same way. And for a very long time, I didn't really go into this until just maybe a couple years back, like I want to say 6 years, when I really hit my rock bottom. Okay, and you guys probably have heard this many times, but my rock bottom was when I was hooked, when I was a slave to alcohol. Okay, I could not wait for the weekend to come around, and I knew exactly what day of the week it was. I knew it was Thursday, Friday, because I was always measuring how far am I from the weekend so that I could drink, so I could party and celebrate life. That's the way I saw it. I celebrate life. But what I didn't realize was that I was really a slave to something, and I just wasn't happy, and that led me to just, I felt like something was missing, and I was filling it with tangible things, like lust and, sex and drugs and, just bad friends. Not bad friends, but, friends that were not filling me with joy and, I wanted. Everybody wants to be great. I think you want to be great. I want to be great. And guess what? That is natural. It is natural for us to want to be like amazing people. It is unnatural for a flower to not bloom. So it is unnatural for you and I to not be great. So that sense of desire is actually natural. So for you to be hungry, to want more love, more wealth, more fitness, more excitement, experience, that's natural. That means that you're alive, that you're hungry for things. Being hungry is a sign of living. When you go off for a couple of hours without eating, you're gonna get hungry. Okay, that's a natural appetite. Your body is saying, I am hungry, feed me, give me food so that I can have energy and do more cool stuff. That's the same thing when it comes to other things in your life. Okay, when you are hungry to want more of the good stuff, more relationships, more meaningful relationships, really, more of the wealth, more health, all of that it's good, it's natural for us to want that. Now, not deviating too much, what I'm talking about is the spiritual side. So that has a very, very deep, close connection to everything else in our lives. So how is spirituality connected to everything else? And I'm talking about spirituality. I don't want to get too religious on you. And the difference between going religious and versus going spiritual, I think that religion is more like a fix. Something is fixed. So you go to a restaurant and you pick off a menu and you order the salmon, and it comes with rice and it comes with all these sauces. It's fixed. There's no, you could maybe tell the waiter, can you just leave the bread behind, but ultimately it's a fixed dish. Spirituality is more of a buffet. You go in and you select what sounds good to you, what feels right to you, what you are ultimately craving. Maybe you are craving more protein today. Maybe you're craving more of, you have a sweet tooth, right? So you pick and choose what feels good and right for you. So that is what I'm really referring to. So I have been in this spirituality journey right now. This is me going back into it, and I heard the key that really opened up a Pandora box that I've been holding on to for a while. And you probably have heard of enlightenment. You probably have heard of awakening. This time I heard remembering who you are. And if you want to know what book I'm referring to, it's called Conversations with God. And I will actually leave the full title and author in the show notes. So just go down there, take a look at it, whatever, check it out. But so that you could have a reference, and if this sounds maybe interesting, check it out. Again, this is actually more spiritual than religion, okay? And it talked about remembering who you are. And I thought that was beautiful because we already are born as spiritual beings, right? We're spiritual beings inside of human bodies. We're just having the experience. Now, the way the book explains it is, it talks about how there's universal intelligence. So I believe in universal intelligence. So that's the collective consciousness. And then there is the spiritual being, which is us, right? So we're part of that. We're all connected. We're all connected in that form. That means that, I have an energy inside me. You have an energy inside you that came from a source, okay? So that's the universal intelligence. And the universal intelligence, guess what it is? It's the knowing all. We already know it all. But the thing is that we come into the bodies, the knowing all spirituality inside us, right? Or the light inside us. But because we are in a new body, we forgot. We don't know. We didn't bring that with us. So we are constantly learning and recreating ourselves. We are ultimately remembering who we are. So I already know who I was as like a spiritual being. All my job now is to remember who I am. And what does that mean? That means that I am just really collecting what is right for me. That's another word of saying being the true you, So being the true you. And this is actually why I hit rock bottom, because I wasn't being true to myself, right? I was doing the things that were true, or were was how can I say this? It was the best thing for me, right? You know, my parents not really knowing, but they had an idea that in order for me to have like wealth and get all the things that are gonna make me happy, they said, well, you're gonna want to have a career that you're gonna love. Where are you gonna get that? Well, by going to a university and, you know, getting a job and making a lot of money, working your way up. So they embedded that belief in me, and without questioning, I just took it as like a fact. Like, well, my parents know best, and I did that. I went to college, and I spent 5 years really in college, and then I did that. I graduated, got a corporate job, but I wasn't being true to myself, and there was a inner conflict. Okay, there's an inner conflict because there's a feeling, right? There's that feeling, and then there's my actions, and my feelings and actions were not in sync. They were not in harmony with each other. Therefore, that led me to want to seek joy in another way. And I happened to fall in love with just getting buzzed, drinking, having a good time with my friends. But I was so out of sync with myself that I went in deep into like the drinking, because in a sense I wanted to kind of just forget that my life that I'm living is my life, because that wasn't true to me. See, I didn't realize that. And now I'm free from corporate. I work for myself. I love talking to people about things such as health, fitness, nutrition, spirituality, creating wealth for yourself, doing things that are true to you in order to help somebody else so that you could get money in exchange, right? And that's exactly what I got out of it, was that in this life, my responsibility and your responsibility is just to remember who you are. Let me repeat that again. My job in this life and your responsibility in this life is to remember who you are, to be the true version of yourself. How do you get to that? Well, it happens a lot, okay? It happens a lot in marketing, or when you hear people speak, or when you hear a story, you have this BS sensor. You could call bullshit on something because it doesn't feel right. So that is your true self detecting, that's not right to me, that's not true to me, that doesn't sound right, so I'm not going to take that in. But as soon as you hear something that is true to you, or that sounds right, and your BS detector saying, this actually sounds right, or this feels right, that is the true version of yourself telling you, like, yeah, go towards that. And that is what remembering who you are is, just really trusting yourself. And that was another thing that I failed to do years back. I didn't trust myself. I went off what people would tell me to do. I would seek for too much advice. I would seek for, what I thought was the right thing to do when it came to my money situation, when it came to my career, when it came to my life. And I never asked myself, I never consulted myself, like, does this sound right? And that's because I never learned to consult myself. I never thought, maybe I know the answer to this already. So I'm letting you know that you already know the answer to a lot of these questions. So how do you find the true version of yourself? How do you remember who you are? Well, it happens a lot when it's quiet time. You probably gotten really great ideas when you're showering, or you probably just, something hits you when you're about to go to bed because it's quiet. So remembering who you are comes to you when you are quiet. That's why meditation is highly recommended. I have picked up meditation a lot more because I am now going inside me for answers, not going out there to seek for an answer for a question that I'm the only one I'm the only one that would know this. It's kind of like saying like, what makes me happy? And I'm asking you right now, like, what makes me happy? And it's like, you don't know. I'm the only one that could answer that. So when you go within, this is actually another beautiful quote. If you don't go within, you go without. Okay, so this is not taught in school. This is actually not taught anywhere that I've been, and I've gone through, the whole Catholic system. I've gone through college, bachelor's and my master's, and my family, they came from, they are immigrants that came from another country, from Mexico, and they came at first illegally. They became legal, but they didn't teach me this as well. So that's why it's great to always be learning. Sometimes you'll get golden nuggets, and sometimes you get the Pandora box. All you're missing is the key. So the message for you today is just to remember who you are. You already know who you are. You just got to remember who you are. And I actually have a pretty awesome story of how maybe this could resonate a little bit better with you. Having a talk with one of my good friends. His name is Tyson, and he lives in Australia, and he has like this Australian accent, and it's kind of funny, cool listening to him talk, because I'm listening to him and he talks a certain way, and we're kind of just hyping each other up. And I told him like, hey man, I just heard like this awesome book, and I just want to share it with you. And it has to do with the same message that I told you, but I told him in a form of a story. And I told him like, look man, all of us are kings. Okay, I'm a king, you're a king. I was telling Tyson that. The only thing is that we went on to a journey for a day, and we got lost, and we fell off our horse, and we hit our head on a rock, and all of our memories get erased. We're in a concussion. But in reality, you and I are kings. I just happened to got my memory back. You are still going through that concussion phase, but you are a king. You just got to remember that you're a king. Access those thoughts. Go back to who you are. Go within and remember who you are. But you are a king, and now that you're with me, I'm actually reminding you that you are a king. Just remember, you fell off a horse, you hit your head on a rock, you got a concussion, and you're having trouble remembering, but I'm here to help you now, to remember that you are a king. You have a kingdom. You have people that you're serving. You have a beautiful group of people that want the best for you, so that you could be your ultimate best, so that you could do your best job to serve the people and give out a lot of good. And that is how I interpret that story to him. And he was like, that's cool, man. I like that. Yeah. So my job, again, is to remember who I am, and your job is to remember who you are. So hopefully this was insightful, and if you like this and you appreciate it, please share this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what was your favorite key takeaway. What are you going to apply today? Are you going to try meditation? Are you going to maybe not have any music while you are driving? Listen to an audiobook? Let me know. I want to know what key takeaway you're going to implement today. And I'd love to hear your feedback. And also let me know what was your favorite part. So share this, review this, because my job is just to share anything that is insightful and that's going to help me. So ultimately it's going to help you, and then you become the greater version of yourself. And you remember who you are. You guys have an awesome and amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me today. I want to share with you a quick program that I have just created. It's called Fit and Prosperous Brothers. Not only do we work on our fitness and our nutrition, but also in the harmony side of our lives and our wealth. If you are wanting to build healthier habits in your daily life and also be surrounded by brothers that are working towards creating a bigger purpose for themselves and create wealth for themselves, then you want to take a look at this. All you got to do is go to thefitceo.com/brothers, and I'll see you there. If you want to learn more about living a fit and prosperous life by winning your day and repeating it, then I have created a on-demand training video where you can access right here. To learn more about optimal health habits, click here below. As always, this is your coach, Jose Perez.